From Julia Roberts' sun-soaked simple life to Zayn Malik's mind-blowing transformation into a farming sensation, these are celebrities you had no idea owned a farm. Julia Roberts doesn't seem like the farming type, does she? Imagine her in her iconic red dress from Pretty Woman, and now imagine the same glam goddess as a farmhand. The picture doesn't fit, right? But what you didn't know is that the actress is a full-on ranch princess who uses her 32-acre property in Taos, New Mexico as a second home. She got the ranch back in the 90s and was even married in the same place too. Julia says it's a peaceful place that helps her stay centered. And it seems like Julia can't live without her farm, because she's commented time and again on how she can never be in a bad mood when she's there. But the locals around her ranch beg to differ and say she can be snooty at times and keeps to herself. But it's Julia Roberts here, guys. She's an A-list celebrity who uses her farm to escape her crazy Hollywood life, so I'm not surprised that she craves her privacy while she's there. Julia isn't the only movie star who loves the farm life, though. And I've gotta talk about another farm-loving actress who you'd never imagine making jam in her rustic kitchen. I'm talking about Nicole Kidman, one of the most glamorous names in Hollywood for decades. Nicole lives on a farm in Australia with her family, where they own 6 alpacas, hens that produce fresh eggs for them every day, Black Angus cows, and a fruit orchard that looks like a slice of heaven. Don't take my word for it, though. I mean, just look at this place. It's a farm worth $4.5 million, with all of the luxurious amenities you could ever dream of. Nicole and her family are actively involved in sustainable farm practices, use renewable energy sources, and embrace eco-friendly practices. Clearly, Keith Urban and Nicole are loving the farm-to-table lifestyle, and they're living in harmony with nature. But far away from the land down under, in the Great White North, another celebrity is enjoying the quiet life. Hayden Christensen. You know, the fallen Anakin Skywalker. After he gave away his mantle to the dark side, Hayden took a totally different path in real life and moved back to Canada to live on a hay farm. It started as a hobby, but now the actor's fully committed to farm life. Hayden said he started looking into different agricultural practices back in 2008. And at the time, he said he was really interested in embracing the lifestyle. He dreamt of a simple life in nature, where he could practice sustainable living and get away from the memories of the bad reviews of certain films. And what do you know? He succeeded. He now lives peacefully on a farm in Ontario, Canada, where him and his daughter, who he shares with his ex-wife, Rachel Bilson, have a good time hosting Star Wars marathons, skipping all his parts from the prequels, and that sad rendition of Obi-Wan, which was probably enough to turn him off from acting again. Anyway, Hayden isn't the only dude in the industry to have farming chops. Did you know that Guardians of the Galaxy star Chris Pratt is an active farmer in real life? Yep, you heard that right. When he's not saving the universe, he's tending to his secret farm. A hidden gem where he and his lovely wife, Katherine Schwarzenegger, escape for peace and quiet. I mean, you can almost picture them hand in hand, chasing unruly sheep and engaging in epic battles against alien weeds. They don't live there all the time. Their primary residence is a $16 million mansion in the swanky Pacific Palisades. But when it comes to celebrating life's precious moments, they often retreat to their rural sanctuary. It's like their own private slice of paradise. And they don't just visit there. They're hands-on people who don't shy away from creating rustic wonders, like creating furniture out of fallen Douglas fir trees or repurposing their home to align with their sustainable practices. And I can't forget about their fluffy companions. It turns out, Chris, the sheep whisperer, has a way with his woolly creatures. Who knew he had a hidden talent for sheep herding? I guess it makes sense though. After all, this is the same guy who tamed raptors, remember? But while Chris's lifestyle isn't too surprising for most fans, I bet my next A-lister's scenic lifestyle will surprise you. Mamma mia, here we go again, to check out the world Amanda Seyfried has created, with her husband, Thomas Sadowski, on this picturesque farm in the Catskills. The couple lives there with their 2 children, Ninja and Thomas, and 23 animals. This family definitely loves nature, because their sprawling property is a refuge for their many chickens, fighter goats who have the temperament of Rocky Balboa, a really sweet turtle, a horse who loves grazing in the fields, and of course, Amanda's foster dog, who she loves sharing on Instagram. Sounds like a cool mix of creatures. And don't you worry, Amanda has enough love to spread around for all of them. She feels a sense of calm every time she's around them, and loves waking up every day to their cute, fuzzy faces. But Amanda's life on the farm isn't only about her furry friends. It's also a space for her to express her creativity and art. In the years that she's owned the place, Seyfried's added bits and pieces of furniture, art, textiles, and crochet pieces that really speak to her, and have helped her turn her home from a mere farm to her personal sanctuary. You've got to love her for being so down to earth, right? And the same goes for Mark Ruffalo, our beloved Hulk, who loves to escape to his rustic paradise every time he leaks a movie's intro to his fans. Okay, that was a joke, but not the part about him being an avid nature lover. Because at his 50-acre family home, he's the superhero for his family and the various animals that they own. They've got their whole life structured around nature, complete with vegetable gardens, a picturesque barn right out of a movie, an eco-friendly guest house, and carved wooden animal sculptures that'll take you right back to the 1960s. His front porch is decorated with one of those, a wooden bear statue that was sculpted by a friend. It's also got an old-fashioned milk canister, some vintage walking sticks, and other knickknacks his kids picked out from the property and fashioned into decorative items to add their own touch to the home's decor. And if you think all of that was done by some uppity interior designer, think again, because Mark is a naturalist when he's out on his land. Believe it or not, he once extracted some balm out of a leaf when a photographer got bit by a bug while visiting his property. Can you imagine our tech genius Dr. Banner doing that? But hey, nature has the power to change people. And if you think I'm overstating that, then I've got to tell you about one celebrity that you wouldn't place in a rustic situation. The forever face of One Direction, Zayn Malik. Zayn's a farm owner and a proud one at that. In fact, he lives right next to his ex-girlfriend's mom's farm. Yep, I'm talking about Yolanda Hadid, who inspired the singer to invest on the property and get things even more interesting. Because not only is he living a full life there, but he also has sweet memories with Gigi and their daughter Kai on this farm. The picturesque surroundings provide the perfect place for their little one to explore. And with their horse, which is named Cool by the way, I think she's gonna have an awesome childhood. Zayn was never a guy I would have imagined living on a farm. But hey, when nature calls, you can't help but answer. And it was probably the same with Malik, who is now turned into a complete farmhead with his ranch in Pennsylvania. So, there you have it. From Zayn Malik's mind-blowing transformation into a farming sensation, to Julia Roberts' sun-soaked simple life, those were celebrities you had no idea owned a farm.